In the distant future, Earth had become a hub of advanced technology and powerful military forces. The universe was no longer an endless expanse of mystery but a well-charted territory with human colonies spread across star systems. Space exploration, once a noble pursuit of knowledge, had evolved into an arms race. At the forefront of humanity's defense and dominance in the cosmos stood the mighty human warships, behemoths of steel and plasma, soaring through the galaxies with precision and firepower. One such warship, the Invictus, was the crown jewel of the Earth Federation's fleet. It was a 2-kilometer-long leviathan, armed with weapons so powerful they could decimate moons and vaporize entire fleets in minutes. Commanded by Captain Serena Albright, a battle-hardened veteran, Invictus had seen the worst conflicts the universe had to offer, and still, it emerged victorious every time. The true test of its strength came during the infamous siege of Andromeda, a battle that would determine humanity's survival. The United Earth Federation had long been at war with the Gentari, an alien race whose technology rivaled that of humans. For years, there had been whispers of a coming storm, and now it was here. The Gentari had launched a full-scale assault on the Andromeda sector, a crucial strategic point for humanity. The Earth Federation had no choice but to send their strongest, most powerful warships to defend the sector, and Invictus was the lead. Captain Albright and her crew knew this would be no ordinary battle. They had faced Gentari skirmishes before, but intelligence reports showed that this time, the Gentari had brought their most advanced fleet ships that were equipped with technology never before seen. As the Invictus and its accompanying ships entered the Andromeda sector, they were greeted by a sight that would make even the most seasoned warriors tremble. The sky was thick with Gentari ships, hovering like a swarm of angry hornets, but Captain Albright didn't flinch. She knew the power of the warship she commanded. She knew that the Invictus was more than just a weapon, it was a symbol of human resilience and ingenuity. The battle began with an exchange of long-range plasma fire, the dark void of space illuminated by the blinding flashes of energy blasts. The Invictus roared to life, its cannons firing with pinpoint accuracy. The Gentari ships were fast and agile, but they were no match for the sheer firepower of the human warship. Within minutes, the Invictus had taken down several enemy ships, its shields absorbing most of the incoming attacks. But the Gentari were cunning. They launched a second wave, this time deploying massive capital ships that dwarfed anything the humans had seen before. These ships were equipped with energy weapons that could slice through space itself, and they quickly began to overpower the smaller human ships. Captain Albright knew it was time to unleash the full power of the Invictus. Activate the Valkyrie cannons, she ordered. These were the most powerful weapons in the Federation's arsenal, capable of ripping through the fabric of space and time itself. The crew scrambled to follow the order, knowing that this was their last hope. As the Valkyrie cannons charged, the ship shook violently from the incoming fire of the Gentari capital ships. Alarms blared, and the tension on the bridge was palpable, but Albright remained calm. She had faith in her ship and her crew. Fire! The Valkyrie cannons unleashed their devastating power, beams of pure energy ripping through the Gentari fleet. One by one, their capital ships disintegrated under the onslaught, their once mighty armada reduced to debris floating in space. The battle was turning in humanity's favor. However, the Gentari flagship, a colossal dreadnought, remained. It was their last stand. As it charged forward, ready to ram the Invictus, Captain Albright made a bold decision. Engage the quantum core, she commanded. The quantum core was a last resort weapon, an experimental device that could manipulate gravitational fields and create a singularity powerful enough to destroy anything in its path. But it came at great risk. With a deep hum, the Invictus began to glow, its engines pushing beyond their limits. The ship's quantum core opened a rift in space, drawing the Gentari dreadnought toward it like a black hole. The Gentari ship struggled, but its fate was sealed. It collapsed into the singularity, disappearing from existence in a flash of light. The battle was over. The Invictus had saved the Andromeda sector, and the Gentari were forced into retreat. But the price was high. The quantum core had overloaded, and the Invictus itself was now heavily damaged, barely limping back to the nearest space station for repairs. As Captain Albright stood on the bridge, watching the aftermath of the battle, she reflected on the true power of human warships. It wasn't just their weapons or their shields, it was the courage of the people who commanded them, the ingenuity of the engineers who built them, and the resilience of the human race itself. In the end, it wasn't just the strength of the ship that had won the battle, but the strength of humanity's spirit. The Invictus had proven that, In the vast and dangerous universe, the true power of human warships lay not just in their technology, but in the unbreakable will of those who sailed them. The galaxy may have quieted after the siege of Andromeda, but for the crew of Invictus, their journey had only just begun. As the flagship limped back to the Earth Federation's central command station, it was clear that humanity's struggle to maintain its dominance among the stars wasn't over. The Gentari, though dealt a crushing blow, would return. They always did, but the question lingered: how long could humanity rely on warships, no matter how powerful, to defend them against an ever-evolving threat? While Invictus docked for repairs, Captain Serena Albright was summoned for a debrief with the Earth Federation's Council of Defense. The council chambers were filled with the most influential figures in human society: generals, politicians, scientists, all of whom had a singular goal: to ensure humanity's survival. Albright had been through countless battles, but the stakes of this meeting felt as immense as any war zone. The council leader, Admiral Jonathan Creed, spoke first. "Captain Albright, you and your crew have done us proud, but we must ask ourselves, how much longer can we rely on brute force alone? The Invictus is the pinnacle of human engineering, but even it took significant damage. Our enemy adapts quickly. We need more than just power. We need innovation." Captain Albright, still in her battle-worn uniform, stood firm. "With respect, Admiral, innovation is what won the siege of Andromeda. The Invictus may be a warship, but it's also a testament to human creativity. The Valkyrie cannons, the quantum core, these are products of our brightest minds. But you're right, the Gentari are not finished. We need to evolve our strategies, and that means more than building bigger weapons." Creed nodded thoughtfully. "Precisely. That's why we've been exploring new technologies, defensive and offensive measures beyond the scale of anything seen before. We're working on ships that can cloak, manipulate time, or even disrupt the very fabric of space. But this comes with risks, and we need experienced commanders like you to test them." Albright wasn't surprised. She had heard rumors of the Federation's secret projects: warships that could phase in and out of dimensions, weapons that could bend light itself. It was no longer just a question of power, but of outsmarting their enemies. Humanity's greatest strength had always been its ability to adapt. "Tell me about these ships," she said, her curiosity piqued. Admiral Creed gestured to a holographic display in the center of the room. The image that appeared wasn't the bulky, intimidating shape of a traditional warship. Instead, it was sleek, almost organic in design. This new class of vessel, known as Spectre, was the next step in the evolution of human warfare. "The Spectre is equipped with adaptive camouflage," Creed explained. "It can render itself invisible to almost any detection system, including those used by the Gentari. It's also armed with nanotech weaponry capable of disassembling enemy ships at the molecular level, but its most significant feature is its ability to slip through dimensions, making it untouchable in conventional space." Albright studied the design, impressed but skeptical. "This is cutting edge, no doubt, but the Invictus won because of its crew, its resilience. These new ships, do they have the same capability to endure? Will they hold up in battle the way our traditional warships do?" Admiral Creed smiled. "That's why we need you, Captain. We want you to lead the first fleet of Spectre-class ships. You and your crew will be the pioneers, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. The Gentari won't see this coming." The offer was tempting. Albright had spent her career on warships like Invictus, knowing their every strength and weakness. But this new fleet, this was something different, something that could change the course of the war and humanity's future. Yet, she felt a pang of loyalty to the old ways, to the ship that had brought her through so many battles. After a moment's thought, she met Creed's eyes. "I'll do it, but I want my crew. They've been through enough, and they deserve to see where this new chapter takes us." The council agreed, and so, the Invictus crew, now veterans of countless space battles, found themselves at the helm of the Spectre Fleet. These new warships were faster, more agile, and cloaked in mystery, able to strike without warning and disappear before the enemy could retaliate. The real test came during the Battle of Proxima Prime, where the Gentari launched another offensive. This time, they came prepared with ships that outmatched even the Invictus in raw power. But the Spectre Fleet was unlike anything they had faced. As the Gentari fired, their weapons hit nothing but empty space, the human warships slipping between dimensions like phantoms. Captain Albright led the charge, her Spectre warship slicing through the enemy lines, dismantling the Gentari fleet with surgical precision. It wasn't just about brute force anymore, it was about strategy, intelligence, and the ability to adapt. The Gentari, caught off guard by the new tactics, crumbled under the pressure. Humanity had evolved, and so had its warships. As the battle ended and the Gentari retreated once again, Captain Albright stood on the bridge of her new ship, gazing out at the stars. She knew that the Invictus had been a symbol of strength, but these new ships, the Spectres, represented something even more powerful: the future. The true power of human warships wasn't just in their weapons or their size, it was in their ability to change, to grow, and to remain one step ahead of any threat. Humanity had survived by adapting, and as long as they continued to do so, they would remain a force to be reckoned with in the universe. The stars were vast, and the enemies were many, but with warships like these, humanity's strength was boundless.